hello, good evening. Wednesday, Reclamation. Still clueless. Um, but all the same, let's just enjoy our time and continue delving into the Temple of Chaos that we found ourselves in. Quinn, why don't you tell us a bit about that?
Sure. Well, started off back in camp still, where uh, some downtime stuff, including Roz going to get her cool new great axe from Covert, and Audie and Covert totally not sort of maybe flirting. Hard to read those two. But eventually, morning came. We went to meet up with Covert, who introduced us to Strider, another adjutant who was the one who ended up teleporting us to the island that the Chaos Temple is on. We parted ways right after that and began exploring, finding all sorts of signs pointing us in the direction of the Chaos Temple, some of which we decided to follow, some of which we decided to ignore. Had a encounter with a weird trap in the jungle that almost blew little eardrums out. That was fun. But eventually we found the temple itself and entered inside, where we proceeded to begin trying to solve a bunch of different puzzles and riddles and the like, and got turned into horses. And Audie met somebody who she doesn't realize the importance of just yet. Uh, but out of the three statues that we're pretty sure we need to fill the hands of with particular objects, we've filled the hands of three of them. So we're looking towards getting that last slot filled so we can move forward in the temple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good, great, even. Um, Anything else people would like to add to that?
Did we mention Kit?
No.
Yeah, Kit, our target's mechanical canine companion that is currently helping us get through the dungeon.
Correct. And this is just mostly allow me to peel off the absent sticker from Titan's face. Because Ben has joined us back. Returned? There we go.
Hooray.
And Ben, for the sake of it, I'm just going to put your token on the map so you can see things.
Oh, thank you.
But just so you all know, Titan is distinctly not there. Yeah. The last puzzle you all went through was the room with the pool table, correct?
Yes, we did the
Yeah.
billiards room.
Mm-hmm. You did also skip over the fact that you were all temporarily turned into horses as well, which was
We
which
were,
was
in
something.
fact, horses.
Okay, yeah. You're back in the central heart of the temple, where the four statues and the large spinning multifaceted object is currently housed in this grand metallic black stone contraption. Three of the four statues have been illuminated with their respective objects, and you have the left side of the temple to go venture into.
The dice are currently taking a break.
Oopsie. Oh no.
So, what sorts of creatures do you think we're going to get turned into down this hallway?
I'm hoping none.
Well, don't say that. Don't say none. That could be worse.
What if it turned into nothing? Nothing at all.
Audie,
And she gives you a Cheshire grin.
Have no way to get a rebuttal for your attitude.
You are faced with two directions, left, right. Almost identical to the other side of the other side of the temple, including the bend in the northern choice you have.
Please help my human eyes see nothing.
Yeah, I think the torch didn't get passed on the effect.
Thanks, Kit.
Yeah.
This is working, but I will delete your torch. Be added.
Right. Want to see what's behind the door?
Ah, there we go.
Go right ahead.
All right, going for the door.
It is locked.
Lilith,
Yep, 1 sec.
I'm not a horse. I can't kick it down as easily.
I will attempt to pick it.
By all means.
Okay, starting from natural 20. Or it could be a 26.
Okay. Block is similar to the other one you've already kind of taken a gander at, with a bit of effort, but being better prepared, you're able to unlock the door. Inside the room, you find three waist-high stone daises with cloth draped across them, each of which is piled with three distinct objects. One, a bunch of stones, one, a bunch of papers, and the other, a bunch of pairs of shears.
Again?
What?
I don't know. It's tables of things.
I mean, it can't be that simple, can it?
You just wrap a block of paper, stab a bunch of scissors. Cut up the paper. I don't know.
So I know parchment's supposed to beat rocks, but there's way too many rocks, right? They'd win this easily.
And Audie kind of picks up a rock and just looks at it.
It's heavy, made of a dark stone, good fist-sized rock.
All right. Roz will pick up some parchment.
Mm-hmm.
So do we cover the rock? Then what do we do with the shears?
You smush 'em. You're asking for a lot of logical place. We're not supposed to think too hard.
Fair enough. Roz is just going to cover up Audie's rock.
Okay. The rock and paper both will burst into flames and turn to dust.
Okay.
You know, who wants to smash some scissors with a rock?
I like smashing. Grab rock. Bring two scissors.
Mm-hmm.
Smash scissors.
Smash the scissors. There is a shockwave of purple fire. The rock and scissors disintegrate.
All right. Who wants to do the honors on the last one? Cut the paper.
Well, Lilith, you haven't done anything fun.
I mean, I'm just looking at this, and I worked at a farm for a living, and this makes my work look. She'll just kind of like shake her head. She'll grab a pair of scissors.
Mm-hmm.
and sheet of paper
Mm-hmm.
and get to cutting.
When you cut all the way through the page and the page falls, the page bursts into flames, disintegrating, and the shears suddenly burst into purple flames as well. But don't hurt you, only turns to dust.
You think we have to go through all of them?
Sure, hope
Mhm.
not.
Can I try and do a investigation on the scissors to see if like they came back? Or is there just such a mountain of everything we couldn't tell?
No, you could reasonably, if you spend some time, count everything.
We could also go into the other room, see if we have to come back to this. Does the dust stay?
No,
No? Okay.
it vanishes before
poof.
it hits the surface.
Connie's right. We only need one more thing. It could just be something in the other room unrelated to this.
I guess
Maybe.
that's true.
I do have to say this is a bit more lively playing a game of our rock, paper, scissors.
I'm all for checking the other room, honestly.
I trust people smarter than me to solve these weird chaos puzzles.
Part of me was thinking about challenging you to a game, and then I thought maybe I don't want my hand to burn into nothing.
Wouldn't it be quite wild in? Do you actually get hurt from playing rock, paper, scissors?
You could.
Anyway, this is about the point last time where we turned into horses, right?
Yeah, about there.
As soon as we rounded the corner.
As I pause because I see our DM rolling dice.
I haven't rolled anything yet, but I'm definitely totally not looking at something on my phone to clarify something.
Oh boy.
We'll try the door. See
So-
if it's locked.
It is locked. When you get to the door, there is a sign on the door.
Ah.
Written on the door, in the common tongue, it says, "Return to this room only after you have solved the puzzles of the other 4."
All right then. Guess we go back to the rock, paper, shears room.
So, but here's the problem, right? Because, and Audie kind of has this look where she's really trying not to logic while being logical. Do you have to have twice as much of each? Illinois 10 and 5 and 2 and Masterdom. And she turns around.
As you turn around, you begin walking back down the hallway towards the rock, paper, scissors room. You feel another gathering of power. One that quickly ripples throughout the temple. This time, however, instead of the wave filling the temple and washing over all of you, you see that it gathers at a point. Right here at the end, of which you can tell based off of a burst of purple energy. And then you hear the sounds of someone land just beyond.
Sorry, which direction was that?
Down here to the south.
Just south.
Basically
Oh.
at the T-junction.
Okay.
Careful.
Yeah, I wasn't, that wasn't on my screen yet, so I didn't see the thing.
My defense, I actually didn't prepare for this because, again, giant wild, shenanigans table. In fact, not. For the sake of it, we'll just use the generic. As you turn the corner, at the T junction, kind of quickly observing their surroundings, appears to be a Tafakari elf wearing a set of ashy gray leather armor. They carry with them a glaive, have a pair of short swords on their back. The armor they're wearing is fairly intricate. I think I could ask of. I mean, I could just ask for a history check from everybody, if anyone's curious.
Well, I rolled pretty well, actually. Got a 19.
14 here.
That's a 10.
25.
Appropriate.
Yeah, 25 and 19 will get you there. 25, Lilith, you know definitively. This is armor of a Salombra Royal Court Guard. Roz, you recognize this because it is armor that has been shown to you once. Granted, the armor that was shown to you originally was a bit older. This one appears to be a bit more modern in its sensibilities, in that this is the exact same armor belonging to the position that Fazil once belonged to before he retired and opened up Greenwood. It doesn't take him long to clock all of you coming from the northern hallway. They turn, holding their glaive in a ready position, but not in your direction. Identify yourselves.
Hi. My name is Roswin. I'm here with my friends. Say hi, friends.
Body waves.
Corona glares.
Hello.
We're, not... We don't normally live here. We're just here solving puzzles.
Did you all summon me here?
If we did, we have no idea how we did it.
Where is this place exactly?
South of Saphinus, an island.
We know Silveris.
And what is this place we're in?
Chaos Temple.
Yeah, that.
Great.
You haven't said who you are yet.
Pardon my caution. This is an unusual place to be on my morning walk to my post. I am Kazim Golzar. I am a royal court guard for Salombra.
Well, if you're not with these cultists, why don't we help each other get out of this place? Once our business is done here, we're gonna get on out.
That seems like a wise idea. But you will forgive me if I stay wary of you for a time.
That's probably a smart thing to do, honestly. Because we're probably going to be wary of you too.
A little caution is warranted. I have just one question, if you don't mind, answering something, since this is a Chaos Temple. What year is it?
That's a really smart question. You see him stop, looks at you through the slit in his helmet. You can tell it's a question that's caught him off guard. It's the 68th year of this century. The first of the month.
All right.
That's good news.
No time shenanigans, at least. Just you being quite a ways from home.
Well, what exactly is our current goal then?
We play rock, paper, shears. This way.
The overarching goal being that we're here to rescue somebody who's being held captive by the cultists.
And to get to them, we gotta do their stupid little puzzles. Hence the rock, paper, shears.
Of course. So how exactly do you play this game?
Now, it's typically done with your hands, in which you do a countdown and then form a sign that represents one of these three. And then, depending on which signs you've created, you either win, lose, or tie. Rock beats shears, shears beats paper, paper beats rock.
This game sounds barbaric.
It's a simple game for kids, or I suppose quickly deciding something when you can't reach a consensus.
So what is it? Two people just have to play a game.
Well, from our earlier experimenting, when you use these objects to, I suppose, play the game in a way, they both burn away.
Do you
Nice
think
tries.
that's a positive thing or a negative one?
We're not sure yet.
Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah. Audie was just gonna pick up a rock and just kind of like place it on a piece of paper and see what happens.
Nothing. Nothing happens. And then after a moment, the rock will vanish and reappear on the pile.
That's unfortunate. I was hoping we could just push it all onto the floor and see what happens.
I was thinking the same thing. Alright, well, if we gotta hold them to make them count, then let's get to it.
In the spirit of chaos, Audie is absolutely gonna take her arms across the paper and just push it all on the floor and see what happens.
Okay. Audie, you make a fluttering mess of papers launch itself off the table and onto the floor, where they slowly drift down and eventually kind of land in a smattering across the floor. And after a moment or two, after they've each come to a rest on the floor, they will vanish and reappear on the table.
Lilith is gonna walk around and grab one of each. And she's gonna look at Roz with all three of them behind her back and just say, "So, should we play a game?"
Sure. Why not? Right. Rock, paper, shears. Ready when you are.
All right. Just want to type it in the Discord room.
Just
count of three.
just message it to me. That way the timing ultimately doesn't matter, and you can just so you guys were right on the spot next to each other. Okay. You count down 3, 2, 1, and each throw a symbol, of which Lilith, throws paper. Roz, you throw rock.
Cover Roz's rock.
Yep. And as you do this time, while it bursts into flames, it does not vanish. It is now a small, glowing, fiery rock. It does not burn.
Grab another rock. Get another piece of paper.
Oh, right. I guess we should all probably start playing games. Unless that's all we needed.
Don't fit into person's hands. It's just a person has to hold her hands out like this. And she cups her hands out in front.
Yeah, rock would probably fit.
You want to try it?
Might as well. Worst case scenario, we just come back.
All right. Well, Roz will pick it up. Leave her rock, paper, and shears here.
Mm-hmm. You
Let's
all
go
make
see.
your way back to the center room.
I would probably say in a bit of a haste. We're excited. At least Audie's excited.
Running, running, running.
Right. Rock to the statue.
And you reach up and put the rock in its outstretched hands, in the cupping shape. And when you place it in there, its eyes begin to glow.
Oh, we got it.
Nice.
So several things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Several. One moment. Trying to make this work. Calm down. Oh. One. You all hear a series of shifting metal mechanisms. One that is clearly coming from the north, and several that appear to be coming down from this western hallway.
Well, I imagine Rivet's probably our priority first and foremost.
Two,
And I'm sitting on Kit.
you see the multifaceted object in the center of the room begin spinning rapidly, becoming a blur, almost losing its shape entirely. The rings matching its pace and tempo, and there's another ripple that rips out from it, washing over all of you. And for a couple of seconds, nothing seems to happen. And then you all begin to feel your skin start to itch. And as you sit there and watch and you look at any bare patches of skin you have exposed, you begin to watch as your skin hardens. And eventually you grow an exterior layer of bark. For an undetermined amount of time, you have received bark skin. Anyone's AC that wasn't 17 is for the time being.
Woo, one more AC.
I am not a fan of this.
I agree. I feel weird. My skin is itching against my metal armor in ways that I do not like. Why do you all look weird?
It's kind of like the horse, isn't it?
Are we tree people now?
Closest we've ever been.
Alright, makes sense to me. Or tree people who can still move and talk.
Oh, kind of like the greenskeeper. Fit right in there.
We want to go see that final door?
Okay then. Is Rivet still up here to the other way?
Did it sound like that northern door opened?
It sounded like whatever was locking it has moved.
probably focus on getting Ben.
Is there an obvious way to open the door?
Yeah, there. It's a set of double doors that you can push open like Aragorn.
Pushed open it is.
And inside you see a large table capable of seating several individuals, but currently only two sit at the table. On one end appears to be a gnomon, glasses, short cut bob hair, wearing an assortment of armor, straps, suspenders. And on the other side, an individual, dark hair, kept a bit messy, swiped off to one side, wearing a black vest and a bright purple shirt, who is currently sitting behind what looks like some sort of raised screen. And so they have arrived. Didn't I tell you they'd interrupt the middle of the session?
Oh, we don't have to. There's another door. We can go look at high cards.
Hello, Melody. You've all worked very hard to get here. You're more than welcome to have a seat. Kit immediately runs up to Rivet and just kind of throws himself onto the gnomon. Hi, Kit. Sorry, I've been busy. Learning a lot of things. You've all come to rescue me?
Yes, are you okay?
Perfectly fine. I was just, here, observing and studying the behaviors and environments of those steeped in chaos. That's all. Although I suppose after several months, it's probably for the best that I don't stay much longer. Nonsense. You're more than welcome to stay and indulge as much as you want. And Kurt turns to the rest of you. I have been a good host. As you can see, Rivet is fed and has a good bed to sleep in. Quality food provided. Plenty of opportunity to go outside and experience the chaos of the island.
It also means that Rivet can return at any point, damn it. She can leave and come back as she pleases.
Oh, yes. With the exception of the fact that it is difficult to get off the island if you don't have the means. Of which, to be fair, is not my fault. Rivet and her companion arrived here, and did not arrange for a means to leave. Thus, I've been a good host and have just been entertaining my guest for the time being.
All right. So, if we did have a way to get Rivet off the island, you wouldn't mind?
No, why would I?
Hmm.
So what's this about a session?
Oh, we were just doing a little bit of hypothetical storytelling in a role-playing environment. Reenacting some historical pieces of worlds I've observed. Giving Rivet a glimpse into the nature of chaos in other worlds.
Sounds pretty fascinating. Well,
It has been.
we're here to get you, Rivet. So if you're ready to leave and good to go, we can head out.
I mean, I do feel like I've been gone a long time. I'm sure people are worried about me. I should probably go. Although I really want to finish this.
How
Mm.
long will it take?
Rivet looks across the table. Kurt shrugs. I probably need an hour more. I think there's a room you haven't yet visited. Hmm? You can go busy yourselves in there if you'd like.
Everyone amenable to that, instead of trying to take Rivet by force. Sounds like a bad idea.
Would you be very kind of us if we took it by force?
So long as Rivet is okay with that.
I have been here on, by my own choice, so
Has Kit been acting normal?
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Kit basically has curled up at Rivet's feet.
All right. Well, we'll be back to rescue you then after we explore the final room and you're done with whatever you're doing.
That'd be appreciated. Thank you.
Right. We'll be right back.
Make sure you leave the door open for us. We wouldn't have to want to go through all the trouble again.
Oh, don't worry. It won't lock again. Not unless you don't come back for 24 hours. That's a joke. I don't control when it locks.
It won't be 24 hours, so we'll be back.
As you all are leaving and heading back down the hallway, the Tafakari Royal Courtyard is there. Didn't enter into the room. He seemed a bit overly cautious of it. And when you're coming back out, he's about to say something when he is tripped backwards through a portal and vanishes.
I hope it's alright.
Probably got sent back to where he was from. Probably.
I'm guessing that door just closed for effect.
It just closes shut behind you
Okay.
very lazily.
Okay.
Kind of imagine like, automatic supermarket doors.
So what, that's the man you saw before, Melody?
Yeah, he offered me a drink.
I'll sure hope we can trust him.
Clearly as much as you can trust anybody else you can meet at a bar.
Well, I don't think he's just any regular bar goer, considering he sounds like he owns this place.
Oh, probably one of the cultists. Priest or something.
At least Kit's staying by with her.
That should be fine.
We still have to ring for we still have the way we call Strider back, yeah?
Yeah, the earring.
And you do. It hasn't gone anywhere.
Last door.
Well, it could be hard towards behind.
Raz opens it up.
Inside, you see the room is divided in half. One half is filled with water, separated by metal dividers, kind of like individual tanks. And there are floating targets just gently bobbing in the water. There's a sign on the right side of the room that says, "If you've come seeking valuables, you must leave some of your own behind. But no dipping a toe into the water."
All right, ideas?
I mean, there's nothing I'm looking for to buy. It's valuable, so there's nothing I can trade either.
You think they'd take money?
Might. It's valuable, right?
Yeah, I mean, the editor took memories. Anything could be valuable to the right person.
Actually, you know what? Save your money, Lilith. Let me try something.
Go right ahead.
I've been meaning to get this out of my backpack anyway. Considering this firearm's pretty reliable. And Chrono will take, I guess she won't take it out of her backpack because it's a longbow, but she will take her longbow and place it wherever she needs to, I suppose.
Pick a target.
Oh, just like throw the longbow at the target? Interesting.
Think it's got to land on a target.
Okay. I thought that there was like a little shelf or something.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay.
It's like carnival game.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's rigged.
Mm.
Sure, I guess. If the longbow looks like it might fit in one of the things, she'll try it.
Yeah, you think it'll be a little awkward, but you think you
Yeah.
can get a longbow to land on one of the targets and probably stay.
Okay.
So just
Sure.
indicate which one you would like to throw it to.
She's probably not trying to do anything too fancy, so we'll just say this one because it's off center and it's bugging me.
Okay. You put the longbow on the bobbing target, and after you let go, you watch as it sticks in place. So as it now bobs, the bow seems to move with it.
Okay.
But nothing seems to happen.
Okay. I'll remove the longbow from my inventory for now.
Okay.
Weird. This ain't part of the puzzle, so what's it want from us? To take a shot?
That if we come seeking treasure, we have to leave something behind.
You know
Right.
what? Take that literally. Chrono's gonna turn and head for the door to leave.
Okay.
She'll probably get a few paces away because she's not going to separate herself that much from the party, but probably around here.
You walk out.
Yep.
Nothing seems to happen. Although, there is a building of energy in the air again. And as Corona leaves the room, Corona, there's a moment where suddenly it seems as if there's a some sort of vapor that fills the space and instantly blacks out everything around you.
Oh.
Those of you standing in the room, there is a black cloud where Corona is now.
Rona,
Yeah?
are you all right?
I can't see anything out of it.
Oh.
Come back
There's
out of
just
it.
sort of a cloud around you.
She's gonna try and swat away at it.
Doesn't seem to do anything.
Well, it ain't hard to breathe or anything, but I can't get this away. Swatting at it.
I just go around, so
Speaking of which, right at that moment is when all of the various bark begins falling off of your skin.
Back to normal, it seems. Are you able to just like step out of it?
She will try.
You go north or south?
Well, she was here. She'll go south. She
Okay.
was like leaning against the wall, so she'll like head left, basically.
When you walk 15 feet south, you will step out of the darkness.
Okay. I think she will probably keep trying, and then eventually, yeah. She'll step out on the other side, and she'll kind of shout a little bit louder. All right, yeah, no, I guess it's just a big fog ball.
All right. Well, good that you're okay. I don't know what to do about it.
She's gonna try and make her way past it,
Back to
or
the
at
group.
least she'll start to. Yeah, she'll start to.
Yeah.
I don't know if people want to do something in between.
Well, people.
I was kind of relying on you coming back because you have the lit torch right now.
Oh,
Yep.
fair.
Everyone's submerged in darkness.
Okay, yeah, she will attempt and see if she moves like 30 feet.
Yeah.
If she'll come out the other end.
Yeah, when you reach the threshold into the room, it stops.
Oh,
But if you turn around, it is just a dark, black hallway.
weird. Wonder why I targeted just me.
Maybe because you went up in the hallway and the rest of us weren't.
Hmm.
The boy's still there.
It is.
I mean, I'm not seeking treasure, so maybe we all need to leave the room.
Ah,
Mm.
It's no skin off my back if it doesn't turn it into anything. But we could try.
I have something I don't mind giving up. Lilith's gonna take out the vial of assassin's blood that she has,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of looking at the targets. Instead of just like laying it down on one of the near ones like Corona did, she's gonna try to toss it carefully to one of the middle ones.
Sure. Make a dexterity check.
+4, that'll be a 19 total.
19? Yeah. Yeah, you give it a gentle underhand toss and it lands on the bobbing target. And there's a moment you kind of watch it skid a little and then it sticks. Give me a moment. Lilith, you watch as the vial of assassin's blood lands. It bobs in place for a moment, and then you watch as the target spins over. And on the other side appears to be a small potion vial filled with a red liquid. And then it discorporates, and then will reappear in your hand.
Well, that worked.
What's that?
She'll look it over, try to see if she can identify it at a glance.
At a glance, it is absolutely 100% a healing potion.
Gave it some poison and it gave me a healing potion.
All right.
Eat my assassin's blood. Maybe it didn't work because you put the bow down and didn't, like, throw it?
I don't know. Corona just kind of shrugs, but like I said, I don't really mind either way. Not
Get
sure
some
what to
sport
get
in there.
back. I mean, I guess I could toss the arrows for that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's probably right? This looks like a fair game. But for the fair game, you don't just place things on a target, you throw them on a target. So, you pick it up and you throw it. Probably still use the same target, you just need to throw it.
Alright, we got an hour to kill. Be just like tossing horseshoes, I guess.
very big portion.
I guess Corona will intend to throw. She's got 14 arrows to throw. But I don't know if other people are going to be doing stuff in the meanwhile.
Oh, anybody else?
She'll try and pile them on the same target as before.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Roz will try tossing a silver coin at one of the targets.
Okay.
See if that's worth enough.
Ping me a target, Roz.
Let's go
Okay.
that one.
Dexterity check.
It's really good. 19 on the die, which is a 19.
Which is a 19, you say.
Mhm.
Like, go back to the list. Roz, roll me a d4.
2.
2. Roz, the silver coin lands, flies for a moment, then sticks. And after a moment, the target will spin over. And you'll see on top of it appears to be what looks like a rock covered in dirt. And then it'll discorporate and appear in your hand.
Try to brush off the dirt real quick.
The dirt, you brush it off, and it falls into the floor. And then suddenly the rock jumps out of your hand to go retrieve the dirt. It rolls around in it in a small little circle until it gathers it all on the outside of it again, and then it just stays in place.
I think I have a pet dirty rock.
That is quite fascinating. I want to try that now too. And
Go for it.
Audie is going to line up across from the place that Corona's been piling her arrows and everything, and try and flip her silver for the same kind of target that Roz had, but at the back.
By the way, Zhao, if you just want to start rolling me some dex checks to throw your arrows individually.
Oh, sure.
Just start getting those out of the way. Melody, go ahead. Make a dexterity check.
That definitely could be worse. That can't be that bad though.
No.
Dex check. That's an 18.
Okay. Before we get to you, Melody, Karate, you throw the first arrow, and it skitters off of the target and lands into the water, and you watch as it disintegrates in the water.
Oh, okay. Like fizzling away or anything, or just
It lands in the water, and you just sort of watch it break apart.
dang.
No hiss, nothing.
Okay. Don't touch that water.
Melody, roll a d4.
Okay. A 2.
A 2. It accepts the coin, flips over, and on the other side is a potion vial. You watch it discorporate and appear in your hands. Small potion vial, its contents look a bit earthy. It's in multiple layers of like a darker soil, a red dusty one, and then something that's closer to sand.
Hold on. I don't know what I'm looking at, but it's far pretty.
And yeah, like I said, just kind of go ham on it. If you
Just
actually
all
just
14,
if you just
basically?
if you just want to do a batch roll, you can go for it.
Okay.
If Corona's gonna chuck them all.
Yeah, she will. Okay. 12d20.
That's all dice.
There's one nat 20 in there.
Yeah, it's a +3.
Yep.
So out of all of the arrows you chuck, including the negative one you started with, 4 will miss.
Okay.
So 10 will land. Yeah, and after the big miss on the first one, you do the second one, and you see it just like with all the other things you've observed. It will land on the target for a moment, shift, and then stick in place like glue. And eventually, you get the bow and all the arrows onto it. And it bobs in place. Zhao rolled me a d6.
D6.
Mm-hmm.
4.
Okay. Four. Okay. The bow and the arrow shift, and it flips over, and it reveals on the other side. It appears to be a shield.
Oh.
Pretty mean looking one at that.
I think she'll prepare herself for it to appear in her hands.
Yep. And after a moment, it does. It's sturdy. Let me quickly go find the description of it. And I will provide context for all of these things, and you guys have a chance to identify them. They all have cards, obviously. Yeah, the shield is trimmed in brass. It is hexagonal in shape. It has a purple, like two purple decorative slashes on the left and right side with a streak of black going up the middle. And it appears to have a skull of a dragon on it.
Is this a cultist shield? She's just kind of like holding it out for herself and everyone else to see.
I don't know what Ben and Renette's here.
Is the dragon black?
The skull is black, yeah.
It could be. Could also be a historical relic.
Well, I wouldn't be the one to know how to identify that. Imagine you would.
As a matter of fact, with Callista's help, I can identify magic items, but only once a day.
Ah,
Titan's a bit more prepared for that kind of stuff.
well, assuming this stuff all comes back with us, then I guess I'll show him then. Probably got more than I put in, though, in terms of value, so can't be too mad.
Rona, with your higher than average passive perception amongst the group, you notice the sign on the wall that provided you with the instructions the first time has changed.
Oh?
Yes, the sign now reads, "With your treasure in hand, you now all may attempt to find the greatest treasure of them all, but you must do so in unified purpose."
Hey, sign's been changed. Take a look.
All right. It's worth a try, right?
What are you thinking?
I guess it says that we can try to find the best prize, but we have to be in unified purpose, so we just have to agree on what to try, right?
Sounds simple.
I think first of all we have to agree to do it in the first place. No, I agree. We've got at least an hour.
I'm down with trying.
Would
Okay.
also love to try.
Maybe we all have to hit the same target with something.
Make sense?
Corona,
Mm-hmm.
a sign folds out from underneath the sign on the wall.
Okay.
It says, "The value of what you throw will affect the treasure in which you receive.
Mm. And it just folded out. All right.
And another one folds out. It says, P.S. You only get one shot at this.
Hmm.
Who wrote this?
The handwriting is all the same.
Somebody thinks they're funny.
Well, I mean, the only thing that I have to offer is this. And she bring Audie will bring out one gold piece. That's all I have.
Where did you get a gold piece?
Nowhere. I exchanged them in silver.
Wonder if they count for inflation.
Hmm.
Krona will say, looking at her potion of healing.
Sure, you probably did pay a lot for that.
Sure did. But no, it's too important to give up.
That's all right. I'll give one of my potions.
You think we could tie everything around an arrow and then it could just shoot the arrow? Got a pretty good shot on you there, Leonard.
I could try. I mean, that's kind of like a carnival game.
Hmm. You know what? Screw it. I'll throw in a potion too.
All right, now we're talking.
2 potions, a gold piece, and I can always make more. I'll throw in this spell scroll.
What kind of scroll is it?
It's for a spell called Blade Mirage. It makes enemies confused when I'm fighting them up close a little bit.
And what level potions are being tossed?
Level 1.
First.
Yep.
Okay. All right, well, I'll collectively decide on your target.
Well, if we're having Lilith make the shot, which one you feeling confident about?
I'm pretty confident I could hit any of these. They're not very far away.
Well, we gotta pick one.
Do you want to run away at the back? We're going to try and take the easy way out.
Let's, why don't we aim back center?
Okay, and what is it you're tying the items together and then tying that to the end of the arrow?
Yeah, kind of like bundling them so it's one shot altogether.
Probably
Said to
bound
do
to
it
throw
unified.
the off balance.
Oops.
That sounds like a totally
okay.
reasonable arrow to shoot.
They said to do everything together. So we put it all together.
Yeah, sure. All right. Lilith, you get this monstrosity of an arrow with all the things tied to it.
Oh, it's so off balance.
Yeah, it's really awful. Just the worst arrow that's ever been put together in existence, probably. And this is the target? We all agree?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Lilith, make a ranged attack.
Oh boy, oh boy. Pretty good. +6, so that will be a 21 total.
Wow, that is pretty good. Yeah, it's not far away. The arrow is a little unwieldy, but you're a pretty good shot. And in the last couple of weeks, your ability to use the bow has only gotten better. So you line it up, and you account for the fact you know it's going to slide a bit. And you see it land on the surface of the target, and it slides a bit, and you watch as the tip of the arrow begins to go over the edge, and it's about halfway is when it suctions onto the target. Okay. Well, there's a single dice roll remaining to decide what it is you require. Might I be so kind as to suggest that we give that roll to Ben?
Let's
Yes.
do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
All right. Ben, please roll for me I'm quickly counting, a D4.
D4.
Yeah.
Lost in the abyss. On to the next one.
Don't step on it later.
Yeah, hopefully not. A 4.
A 4. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Okay. This is certainly going to be interesting. You all watch as the amalgamation arrow kind of sits for a moment, and then you watch as it spins. And the thing that lands on the other side, at first glance, appears to look like a chest. And that's about as much of a glance of it as you get before it discorporates, and it appears in your hands, Lilith. And now that it's in your hands, well, it is definitely a chest. It's about a foot across, a foot high, foot deep. Except it has an uncanny appearance of a cottage. Got a front door, a blue thatched roof, 2 windows on either side, a small little chimney that's letting out a little bit of smoke.
We have a pet mimic.
Jeez.
I think it gave us a dollhouse.
If you peer
Which is
into the window on
good.
the side, there's a little living room with furniture. Cute little spiral staircase that goes up to a second floor. That doesn't make any sense according to what this thing looks like.
But it's not just a regular dollhouse, is it? It's something off about it. There's a lot of things off about it.
Can't you open it up or something?
She'll try to see if there's
Oh, not in this room. Not in the room.
Sure.
Listen, there's a chance, however small, that you do the right thing with this thing and it becomes a full-sized cottage. And I don't want that to happen in this room with us standing in it.
That'd be really convenient for missions.
Or there's also a possibility that it will become dollars, never to be seen again.
I call the nicest room if that does happen.
I could call Lilith's room then.
As you are all holding the chest, you do eventually watch as simultaneously all of the targets sink, leaving the room empty and uninterested.
Well, obviously the greatest treasure is home, right? Therefore we got it.
As you're
Yeah, I
walking
agree
along,
with
there's a
Trisha with
there's a
friendship.
sign in this hallway that wasn't there before that says, "That's not how this works, Roz."
You are, but shut up!
You know, this temple has a suspicious lack of cultists.
And that, Rivet, is how that great world war came to a conclusion. Please make sure you've learned an important lesson from this about the hubris of invention. Rivet's just over there diligently scrawling away in a notebook. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Valuable stuff. Oh, you've all returned. Did you have fun fishing?
Honestly, yes.
Hmm.
I got a rock.
Oh, nice. Treat it well.
I think we're all homeowners now.
Good little house. Little dollhouse or something.
Yes,
pretty.
unfortunately, you all missed the mansion. You win some, you lose some.
Well, from a tiny town, it's a pretty mansion to be.
Fair enough. Who am I to criticize your tastes? Well, Miss Rivet here is finished with me, and as I am finished with her, you're more than welcome to leave now if you'd like. I think we've all come to a satisfactory end.
All right. If you're sure, then this time officially, Miss Rivet, we're here to rescue you.
Yeah, hang on. Just let me finish taking these notes. He said a lot at the end.
Right, well,
If I might, I offer this to everybody that comes through. If you would all be so interested, I do have a deck of cards here. If you'd like to just pull a card, it could change your fate.
Last time I put a card, I fell asleep and almost died. It's
Ah,
quite
y-
tragic.
Yes. The ghost in your friend's head is a little cruel like that. I wouldn't do anything like that.
I don't know. My fate seems alright right now. I'm not sure I want to change it.
Oh, very
Yeah,
mature
sure.
of you.
Why would you want to change your fate? Fate is what it is.
Fate is not what it used to be. Which is to say, I never said it would turn it for the better.
Okay.
I can't possibly predict how the outcome would be. That wouldn't be any fun.
If we were to pull a deck, or if we were to pull a card, would we really have the choice either?
Well, if you pull the card, you've already made your choice. This right now is the choice. This is the 1 or 0 in your decision. I know you all wouldn't get that. This is the crossroads. You go one way or the other. Just know that I've seen people take cards and become kings. Some gods. Fabulously wealthy. Others, paupers and slaves. It is a bit of a mixed bag, I will admit. But
I
boy,
think
is it
I'd
exciting.
rather... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all. It's just exciting.
I think I'd rather take hold of my own fate with my own 2 hands.
What do you think, Callista? This seems more up your alley of understanding.
Allow me to explain a little something to you, Lilith. The individual at the table, because I would dare hesitate to call it a man, is a dealer of chaos. What you get is completely up to the ebbs and tides of chaos. It could be something that could end the war in one fell swoop, or it could be something that kills half of the population on the planet. The point is, this is, at its core, a Banus's power. Do with that as you will.
Yeah, as tempting as some of that sounds, I don't think it's worth the risk.
That being said, it could give me a body.
Are you trying to tell me to do it or not to do it?
It would benefit me greatly if it went well, but it would definitely harm you greatly if it didn't. So, I would still recommend you don't.
Right.
Because there's
No,
also no
thanks.
telling what'll happen to my soul if, for instance, you were to be turned into a pile of dust here in a temple of chaos.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good time.
Mm-mm.
Thank you for the offer, but I'll pass.
Very well. Anything else? Like, do you need any water? Food for the road?
Audie's gonna like walk right up to him.
Yes, Melody.
May I touch you?
Strange question, but I don't see why not. And he will hold out a gloved hand.
Will he flinch if she reaches past it? Like, she goes to, like, touch, like, his face or his hair or something.
No.
Yeah, she'll kind of reach out and, like, tousle his hair a bit.
Good. Very well, then. Satisfied my curiosity.
What, did you think I was a ghost or something?
Well, no, just last time I met you, I was pretty sure it was a dream. Oh, I have a problem in my life. Strange men meet me in a dream and then disappear. Especially when they're handsome.
Yes, I don't work for that god, so fair. But certainly, I'm as real as either of you. Admittedly, I really don't work even for the god that I say I work for, but that's neither here nor there. I finished my notes, so if you're all ready to take me back, I'm ready to leave.
Yes.
Sure.
All
Absolutely. Let's get you out here.
Okay. And you'll watch as Rivet climbs onto the back of Kit. And like a child riding a horse, will just kind of clamber up to the party. By the way, if you all ever do decide to visit again, make sure you bring your Dragoneye friend next time. I feel like it would be better for him to have an opportunity to get something out of this, like you all did.
Yeah, we'll keep that in mind. You know, if we ever come back. Thanks for the offer of the card pull and for all the games and for the cheese and wine.
Did you want any for the road?
Hopefully the road's not going to be long enough for it to matter, but thank you anyway. We'll be going then.
Alright, if you insist. Stop by the gift shop on your way out.
Gift shop.
Hoping next time we meet you have an opportunity to tell us why you know so many things. Bye, Kurt. Maybe meet again if the fates allow it.
Goodbye, Miss Melody. Roswin, Lilith, Corona, Rivet.
Bye.
Gift shop.
All slowly make your way back to the front of the temple. As you begin walking and you get to the top of the stairs before the light washes out, there is in fact another doorway that goes to your left. And above it, in the same sort of stylized sign writing that you've seen all over the island and inside, it says gift shop. Inside, you see various types of clothes, jackets, vests, hats, mittens, and hand warmers, scarves, all in the classic slate gray and purple that you've seen decked all throughout the temple. There's also an assortment of weapons and armor with a similar dragon motifs, as you've seen of the carved statues in the rooms. They all have price tags, of which most of the clothing ranges anywhere between 1 to 100 silver, versus the weapons and armor are probably what you'd expect to be reasonably priced for what they are, which is starting at 1,500 silver and going up.
How much for a t-shirt that says I went to a chaos temple and all I got was this lousy t-shirt?
5 silver.
Spirit Lilith will buy one. It'll be a couple sizes too large for her.
Yeah, and there's just there's a desk at the front with a small little basket. It says place your money here.
We'll put 5 silvers in. Fold her shirt up and put it in her bag.
Alright, well, Roz is also gonna have to get some stuff. She's gotta get a shirt, she's gotta get some mittens, she's gotta get a beanie. got to get souvenirs for
Yeah.
her family and for the Immortal Bastion.
Yeah. So basic like upper body attire shirts, 5 silver a piece. Headwear is 2. If you want to get a hoodie, it's 15. And if you want to get like the nicer jackets, they're 25. And if you get anything suit related, it's 50.
They have hoodies.
I was gonna say, do we know what hoodies are? Is this a garment that has been like
Nope.
fabricated? Okay, cool.
It looks like a weird. It looks like a weird traveling cloak.
Well, Roz has one now, thank you.
Extremely comfortable.
It looks so
Are they-
comfy.
I was gonna say, are they pullover hoodies or are they like zip up hoodies?
There are both.
I don't think Roz comprehends the zip-up hoodie, but she understands the pullover, and she has one.
But they're 15 silver.
The hoodies. What did I say? I think I said the hoodies were 25.
Yeah. Right, so
That
it's,
would be all of my silver.
so it's 25 silver for a hoodie, and then how many people in the Bastion are currently alive?
All of them but one. Let me go pull up my factions doc real quick.
I gotta get one for the dead one too, just like
Yeah. So I mean, if you're
Sizes.
including Timber, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, including Lucius and Lucilla.
is there anything here in Lucius's size?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, there
I
are
get it.
sizes. There are sizes that accommodate people's statures that go even. There are people. There are sweaters here that fit giants.
Great. Then I have 13 shirts, including one for Roz's grandpa and her little brother, and the rest for the Immortal Bastion, and a hoodie for Roz herself.
Wow.
There's way too much money. Spent 90 silver.
I really didn't think the gift shop would be such a hit.
No, absolutely is. Audie is also gonna be. She was gonna be like, oh, whatever, and then Roz is just like, have you ever seen something that looks like this? And it's she brings out a hoodie and she's like, that looks so comfortable. Yeah. So Audie finds a hoodie that has, you know, a small purple flame or something of the like on the front. You know, nothing with words, nothing that really gives away where it's from, kind of thing. But just like, oh yes, it's I know. But if anybody else knew, they'd probably shun me because chaos. The other thing she was gonna look for, you said that there were like suit adjacent things.
Yep. Basically the same sort of attire that Kurt is commonly seen wearing. Slacks, vests, button-up shirts, jackets, fine
She's-
shoes and leather belts.
Absolutely gonna get a vest because she's like, oh, this could go very well for singing if she ever changes up from a dress.
Yeah, there's black, slate gray, and a myriad shades of purple.
No, she would probably just try and find like a silky black or a satiny black.
Oh yeah, super easy right up front. Do you want it like just perfectly like just plain, or do you want like an imprinted decoration? There are various types.
I think she would probably just go plain. She doesn't want to necessarily be representing Abanus or Chaos while she's performing. So
Fair enough.
There's a moment where Lil is considering spending all of her remaining silver on a hoodie, and then she sees Roz buy one. She side-eyes her and realizes she doesn't need to buy her own hoodie.
Problem solved.
Correct.
this is excellent.
So she'll take her shirt and leave.
Okay. Corona. I think I might as well be nice and cover Corona, although I have a sneaking suspicion I know the answer to it. Do you want to buy anything from the gift shop?
Yes, that's gonna be no. She's gonna shake her head as everyone's walking in, but not because people want to buy stuff, just the absurdity of
Yep.
what's going on, basically.
Yep.
And at this point, she's not gonna nag anyone either, because all sorts of like, I don't know, the danger feels like it's been deflated for a few rooms now at least. So she's just going to like, shake her head and wait patiently for everyone to to finish with their shopping.
Okay.
And she will do no shopping herself. No.
I'm half picturing there being like a display of lighters up front, and Corona just being like, "What?"
And flip blade knives.
Yeah.
Along with decks of playing cards, sets of dice. Basically, as a matter of fact, there's a whole section dedicated to games and board games.
I figured, with as chaotic as this temple is, it's like wherever you look is whatever you're looking for.
To a reasonable extent, it's kind of how it works. Thus, the shirt that manifested that Lilith was looking for.
What's this weird glass tube thing?
Crack pipe.
I mean,
No?
it fits the
Okay.
chaos gun.
Welcome to my corner of drugs. Help yourself. Yeah. Any other purchases we need to be made aware of?
No, I've spent too much money already.
Okay. Well, please mark down your expenditures and acquire your items. As you all turn to leave, there is a on the counter on the way out. There's a new sign that has appeared, and in front of them appears to be a pair of gloves with a set of razor talons on the end that say, "For the VIP expenditures, have this gift on the house."
Thank you.
Look like it could do a lot of damage to that.
Right, well, I'll take them then.
And you all begin ascending back up to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, it's worth mentioning, Rivet bought a pet's hoodie for Kit, and bought a pair of purple sunglasses for herself. And you begin ascending the stairs back up to the surface. And just like on the way down, it takes a while. A long, long second. Until eventually you see the first remnants of sunlight bleeding into the dark passageway, telling you that you have once again found the surface. When you emerge, you are still on that exact same cliffside that you once found the entrance to. Once you've all made your way out and you turn to regard your surroundings, you notice that the entrance to the temple is gone.
Do we just call our ride here, or do we want to go to like the coast or something?
I have absolutely no interest in exploring this island any further than we already have.
Might as well just try here.
What are all of you going to try?
Your aunt, was it?
Which one?
Strider.
Oh, Perry brought you. Okay. Yeah, her magic shouldn't be affected by anything here. Unless the Obsidian Betrayer decided to show up himself or something.
Don't
Let's
say
not
that.
speak that into existence.
Oh, what are you all so worried about? It's not... What, Talnum, Debanus, or stuck in each other's clutches. Neither of them are coming here. You all worried about?
Doesn't mean they couldn't send someone. We
Yeah.
got here relatively safely. We didn't even have to fight anything.
The most dangerous person that would ever come to deal with it is the person you just met downstairs in the temple.
They're a superstitious bunch. You'll get used to it.
Ugh, I probably won't. But all right, yeah, call my aunt. Let's get out of here.
Chrono will interact with the earring then,
Mm-hmm.
as instructed.
Yeah, all you have to do is grab onto it, think, with mental enough effort. And there's a moment where you feel the beads, the earring begin to warm in the palm of your hand. And much like before, there's a tearing of threads, and you watch as a portal rips open and lets out a gust of freezing Arctic air. And the blue skid Forbana comes rushing out of the portal and immediately goes to bear hug Rivet on the back of Kit. Oh, my sweet little Kit. I was so worried that, Rivet, Kit as well. Both of you, good to see you. I was very worried that chaos was going to swallow you all. Good job, everybody else. Everyone here, and all in one piece. No odds or ends missing from any of you?
No, got a lot of things on the side, actually.
Well, that's good. And no cost?
The material cost.
You didn't draw any cards from the deck, did you?
We were offered.
And?
We all said no.
Good. Never do that. Anywho, taking you all back to your camp now, yes?
That's the plan.
All
Gotta
right.
Tell Covert the good news.
Well, let us go then.
After you.
Absolutely. Keep our hands, arms, and fingers within the portal at all times. And whatever you do, don't linger. All right. And here we go. And Imperial will step through first. And as each of you pass through, you catch a glimpse of the plane between portals of a jagged, icy wasteland with just absolutely freezing gusts, of which you're catching an occasional bit of, enough to instantly chill the edges of your skin, and the humidity that's gathered on it on the somewhat tropical island you were on, until you pass through and land on the other side. Where inside you arrive in Covert's Grey Room. All right. If all of you are happy, Covert, I'm sure, will be here soon to let you out. I'm going to take my niece and, well, absolute pleasure meeting all of you. It was great. Maybe I see you again in the future. Maybe I don't.
Hopefully.
You might. Depends on what kind of favor we need.
Ah, yes, true. You might need me. Not
Just
the first
might.
time. But I'll take that back. Imperial snatches the earring out of your hand. Thank you. Well, good job, everybody. I'll make sure to sing your praises to the other adjutants when I see them.
Thank you very much. And good luck where you're going.
Thank you.
I really like Kit. She's I've never seen anything like it before.
Ah, thank you. I've been working on Kit for a long time. Based off of schematics my father made, but he was never really able to act on, especially now with the war that started up. It just hasn't been practical. He figured it was too dangerous, that if he advanced the technology he was working on too far, that the automatons you'd be fighting now would be sentient. And he figured that would have maybe been too disastrous for the world, so he just kind of shelved it. I technically stole these. I should stop talking now.
Especially since I'm pretty sure sorry, Strider here in COVID can all hear you. So, there's that.
Well, I definitely did hear her, yes. And, we're going to talk about that with your father. Although, just to be honest, we all knew it's weird that the completely self-aware automaton was walking around with you all this time. Kind of knew. Anyway, I'm now going to take my niece to be disciplined for admitting to what she did, and yes, see you in the future if you need me, etc., etc.
All right, goodbye.
And a new portal is torn asunder. You get a breeze and gust of fresh, flowery air. And you watch as Periel sort of unceremoniously shoves Kit through with Rivet on its back. And then with a bow and a flourish will step through with the portal snapping shut behind them. And right there, we're going to take our break.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we'll be back in 10 minutes. See you then. We're back. Believe? Yep, we're good. All right, so the party has recently returned, but as many are well aware, they did leave without their chaperone, which is to say Titan, was so kind as to volunteer to stay back to care for those that have recently undergone significant major surgeries to recover. And in that time, Titan was spending some personal time to do some knowledge gathering, some research, and some study. So where do you want to start, Ben?
I mean, from what I saw in the recaps, thank you for doing those. It seemed like the first day that I, the player, was gone, Titan was just helping out with people still having medical emergencies. But I mean, after that, yeah, Titan would go on to. I mean, his top priority is to speak with the Chapter of Fire, and gain some knowledge and understanding from them. So I think we could probably start there. Although, again, admittedly, there's from his end, I have to do some writing first. But from his end, the stuff he's giving them is requires a bit of work from me.
Yeah. So the short version. Titan wants to go to the Chapter of Fire because he has knowledge he thinks they have that would be valuable to his research, to which Titan then has a story of some interesting draconic history he would then share in return for it. As Ben said, Ben wants to write a bit about that to have it properly fleshed out, which I look forward to. And the abridged version of the information you would receive, Ben, explaining essentially you would learn Vitrara herself, given you would learn a couple of things. One, you would learn that she was previously a knight for the Court of Ash. And then when the worlds were subsequently merged together, came here, chose to have a mortal lifespan, and is currently just spending time doing something that the Fae weren't very fond of, which was gathering written histories, due to the fact that, well, Fae tended to live forever, so they didn't have a need for it, since somebody somewhere always knew the right answer. So knowing that... Sorry?
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So knowing that, she'd explain a bit about herself and her foundations, and would essentially explain a bit of the basic understanding as to how members of the Chapter of Fire create bonds with elementals, which is the crux of it all, is the fact that elementals normally can't be tamed. They can be influenced and controlled by greater elemental beings. It's just sort of the trickle down of the primordial gods making them. The way that these creatures, that they control them, is by their building a primordial core within themselves, and then essentially linking the free roaming elemental spirit, a wild spirit, to themselves. Yeah, there's a small list of things that Vitrara would give you to give Titan the basic needs and understanding to start building a primordial core within himself. which the good news is a lot of the basic needs and requirements, Titan checks most of the boxes. Such as having a elemental affinity, which Titan does due to his bloodline. Along with having a goal that is tied to something that is extremely close to your existence, which Titan does have. And then the rest of it is a bit of practice and meditation, along with exposing yourself to increasingly powerful forms of that magic, of that essence, if you will.
Okay. Darn, just trying to keep up with my notes.
And from there, she explains that once you have the core built, even if the core at first is extremely small, it grants privileges. It grants you access to primordial magics of that nature. It allows you to steadily grow it through time and dedication. For some people, they'll reach a ceiling because finding increasingly powerful forms of primordial energy will become increasingly dangerous, and therefore people can only ever go so far. But the things that she's taught you, even somebody completely mundane, if they can check all the original requirements, can do this too. She explains this is how the original mortals that crossed over into the new world to eventually become Fae gained the power and strength that they did to survive there. It was a necessity as the world became increasingly more uncontrolled and filled with wild primordial energies. It was how the Fae grew. And some did it better than others. And part of this is validated based off of your basic research into dragons. Yeah, basic is probably not advanced research into dragons, which is the dragons in most historical documents and most people that have done research on it remark on something that dragons leave behind when they perish, called a heartstone. You highly suspect that heartstones and primordial cores are one and the same.
That is also very good to know.
That being said, would you have any questions? Porchara's pretty open.
I mean, the only one coming to me off the top of my head is if Vachara knows where he could seek these primordial sources of energy, where they tend to hang out.
She gives you two answers. One, primordial energy by its nature is natural energy. Any place where a corresponding element has become its primary environment is a place steeped in that energy. More extreme variations of that. So, for instance, if you were to travel up to the northern continent, where it is frigid and freezing, at least mostly, that would meet a requirement up to a certain degree. It's after that where you'd have to begin finding more condensed versions of it. So, as a better example, to dive back to Convergence campaign real briefly, that meteorite that landed that produced the chunk of never melting ice is
Right.
an extreme example of something you would want to kind of go beyond the basic I'm walking around in minus 40-degree weather. Two, and still difficult and still dangerous, but much more readily available now in this world, is to find a corresponding Fey spirit of the same energy. And to either strike a deal with it, or be allowed to spend time in its presence.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. I might hit
Yeah.
you with more questions in a more private setting. But...
That's a, yeah. If you get more, feel free to message me more.
Yep.
Also, I feel like a semicolon, your intelligence, and maybe an offhanded remark from Rutrara, she maybe starts connecting some dots. This could also be achieved via a dragon of similar energy. Should you convince them, given how dragons can give birth to other draconic forms by infusing energy.
Okay, yeah, that also makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Very, very, very productive and very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Titan is very glad he made this visit. Yeah, I think, like I said, that's all I've got for Vitrara off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfectly fine.
While he is interested in her history, he's also conscious of wasting time in the current needs of things.
And intelligence currency, which is what she trades in.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's more of a self-indulgence.
Yeah.
Collectively, if someone could tell me, how long was the party in camp prior to leaving, and how long were you guys out for? Which is my answer on the back half of that is about a day. So has it been like 2 days?
Well, we would have tried to leave and come back on the same day. Or do you mean since the last mission?
No, since you departed from the camp.
A little bit. There was the first day that I was gone, which was covered by me helping.
Mm-hmm.
There was the stormy day the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a slightly less stormy but still rainy day.
Right.
So
yeah.
We're on day 3.
Yeah, you guys left on the mission at the start of the 3rd day.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. In which case, a lot of the explanation, practical technique that the Virtual would show you would consume most of your 2nd day. And based off of the rough time you would have remaining, you could probably pursue one of the other 2 interests you had set up, both of which are mostly just kind of personal study.
Yeah. Let's go with I think the curse research is something he would probably do with Roz and others present.
Okay.
Just because again, he figures that there's a high chance that we're gonna need to do some questing for it. So I guess it's over to speak with Adi's brother,
Alidade.
or Alidade, and figure out how he's doing, what he wants. Have a sincere discussion with him about the possibilities of his arm, of his missing limb.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a problem. So we can say on the tail end of the 2nd day, after pondering over the notes you've received and considering you can swing by the the medical tents on the southern side of the camp just to do a quick one over and check on people, and then eventually cruise into the tent where Alidade is currently resting, in which it is a shared tent with some others, given that his position is improving pretty dramatically after he's had a couple of days of food and rest. Partway through this day is when he regained consciousness, because prior to this he was in a coma.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So yeah, towards the tail end of the day, the evening, you can come in. You can see that Aladade is actually set up in a cot across from Jace Wilkins, one of the other Greenwood mercenaries who's been laid up after he got a saber wolf slice across his upper thigh.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'll come in, familiar face to both of them. They'll stop mid conversation, and both, Jace will give you a wave. Aladade, bleary eyed for a moment, will blink and. Titan, is that you?
Yeah, that's me, kid. How you hanging in there?
I'd get up and hug you if I could, but, well, I'm awake. It hurt all over, but I've seen a bunch of friendly and familiar faces lately. So honestly, I'm doing really good, better than I was.
That's good to hear. Audie informed me that you bravely led some people when Greenwood was under attack.
Yeah. Orva and Warmth and he shakes his head, kind of closes his eyes. My memory's a bit foggy, but yeah, 5 or 6 of us. Yeah, we grabbed what weapons we could, and we pressed backwards into the village. I know we pushed a family or two further out, but there was a big explosion, and then I just kind of remember being surrounded by those big hulking machines, and then I remember waking up in a camp. Been some rough times.
It nods. Yeah, based on your condition, they're not exactly treating you well.
No, they were working us hard, feeding us enough so that we'd survive. To be honest with you, it was mostly just overseen by other machines. We only saw a living, breathing person 2 or 3 times. I suspect they were somewhere always watching, but they never really talked to or got involved with us. And they were really harsh on everyone else. If everyone acted up, they just killed them. But I got back here, so it's good enough.
Titan nods. Agreed. You getting back alive means a lot to all of us. Gave us a lot of hope. And truth be told, your sacrifice, it saved a lot of families. Greenwood owes you a great debt.
Well, I definitely couldn't just stand there and do nothing. I'm glad our efforts did something. I've been catching up with my ma, and she's been telling me all the things and people that are here. I'm sad to not hear a lot of the names, but I'm happy for the ones that I have. Wasn't an easy situation.
We all had to make calls that we didn't like. Calls we felt saved the most people.
Yeah. Jace was just catching me up. You and Lilith and Melody and Roswin and Corona, you're all apparently making a bit of a name for yourself around the camp.
Yeah, well, not everybody's pleased with the name we're making.
It could be worse than Greenies.
Titan smiles. I actually kind of like it myself. I'm proud of where we're from.
Here, here. Is it true what I heard that you all have gotten stronger? You heal fast, not like us. He points to Jace, and Jace kind of laughs.
Yeah, it's true. I've been doing a bit of research into it when I can spare the time. But, that change hit us.
Is any way you can use some of that magic and help me fix this? And he waves with the stump of his arm.
Well, to be honest, kid, I think there is.
Well, I'm all ears, Doc.
Well, to get into it, I could graft that portion of your arm back on. But it wouldn't be like it was before. You'd have to adjust to a new arm, and without the added strength and durability and healing of what's commonly called the heroic gene, the change that came over us, there's going to be a lot of pain, a lot of adjustment, chance of death. But I could give you an arm back.
Ooh, you just hit me with a lot of information, Doc.
I understand, but I wanted you to be informed.
No, I appreciate that. To be honest with you, the pain, I think after what I went through, that's probably not much of the concern, but when you said there was a chance of death, I don't know if being separated from my family again is worth the cost of an arm.
I understand. Think on it while I do some research into how I can mitigate that chance of dying.
Yeah, I will. Thanks for the offer. Oh, and I haven't really had a chance to see all of you yet, but thanks for keeping my family safe.
We were happy to do it. Like I said, everyone we could, we kept them as safe as possible. Anyway, I'll let your mom catch you up on any other news.
Yeah.
How are you coming along, Jace?
Oh, I'm healing. Probably got another couple days. I'm currently just kind of walking, stretching, making sure I don't heal up too tight. Should be fit to go back out on missions, and probably by the 4th or 5th.
Good, good. Well, if either of you need anything, tell somebody to come get me.
Yeah, will do, Doc.
All right. I'll let you guys get back to it and get some rest.
Good seeing you, Titan. Thanks.
No problem, kid. No, there is one other thing. And Titan will pull out a little, I suppose you'd call it a doggy bag. I had some leftovers from my last meal. Nothing helps healing like a good bit of food in your stomach.
Oh, thank you. This smells great. Stuff they've been serving here is better than what I was getting at the gnomish camps, but not by a whole lot.
Yeah, I figured. Eat it slow. Your stomach needs to adjust to the more complex nature of the food.
Will do. Thanks. Titan, before you go, in the transport that you found us all in, there was a creature, something in a glass case. What happened to it?
Oh, hybrid. They're around. They came back to camp with us. Do you know anything about them?
Just that they're extremely dangerous. I remember watching the one time the gnomes brought it into camp after capturing it. I watched it slag automatons until eventually they managed to subdue it, and that's when it got shoved into the tube. It was one of the few times we actually saw, real living, breathing people. They said they were going to transport it for an experiment back in the capital.
Well, that's kind of confirmation of what I hoped, which is that hybrid, that's what they agreed to let us call them, is hybrid.
Right.
That hybrid could be a very valuable ally in this war. But by all indications from hybrid, it will take time to gain their trust and understanding. It's something I hope to work on in the coming days.
All right, that's better than I could have hoped for, I suppose. Gotta warn you to be a little wary. The kind of damage that I watched it dish out was extreme. Again, those machines were overwhelming, but I watched it disintegrate one right down the middle. So just don't make them angry.
Titan takes this into serious consideration. Well, then it's probably best I don't go alone. I'll bring my better half.
Right. Lotus would probably be the kind of balm you'd need in that situation. Okay. I think we've kept each other busy long enough. Thank you for the food, and thank you for catching up.
No problem, kid. I'll see you later.
Yeah. And you go.
To go.
Is there yeah, go ahead. No, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think his Titan's next big stop in this particular quest line would be to see if he could get a chance to talk with Bandit about his plan and see what Bandit thinks about mitigating the dangers of it for Alidade.
Yeah, we can pop on over and have a brief little conversation with Bandit. Like I said, much the same. It's easy to get to the White Cross Company camp. One of the sentries can point you towards the Bandit, which they tell you to go find him at his tent. Of which you've been there before, so you know how to find your way towards the residential side of the White Cross Company camp, and you're given the occasional nod of acknowledgement from some of the other members as you're passing by. And you arrive at his tent, and the flap is currently pulled back. It's a very humid night, given how much it's been raining. You can see Titan is currently inside, sitting in one of the large reinforced chairs on one side of his table, with a small meal kind of half picked through, and a book held in one of his big hands that he's just sort of quietly reading to himself with.
Good evening, Bandit.
Ah, Titan. How are you this evening?
You know what? I'm in pretty high spirits. The last couple of days have been going well for me. We saved a lot of my people. We were able to stop the curse from killing anybody immediately. I was able to get some information from the Chapter of Fire. And Aladade woke up. I would say life's been pretty great.
That is, in fact, all good news. I'm pleased to hear that.
How are things going on your end?
Well, as always, we're busy. Lots of things to do, lots of moving pieces to take into account, and many reports coming from the ever-shifting front lines. And where my other half is, my commander, is currently trying to stem the tide, if you will.
Yeah, sounds busy.
Indeed. But you didn't come here to talk about that.
Well, not just to talk about that. I always appreciate updates on the war. But, no, I had some questions for you about a medical procedure. Have you ever had experience with, reattaching limbs?
Yes, some. Perhaps not as vast as you might be looking for.
Every little bit helps. Aladade did a great thing for Greenwood. He saved a lot of people. And I'd like to repay him if I can. And I think the best way I could do that is by giving him back an arm.
Well, I suppose the first question is a matter of where the new arm would come from.
Well, that's the tricky bit, I think, is that without a good supply of human corpses, I'm limited in what I can do and what I can provide for him. But I think I could give him one of mine.
There's a moment you can see Bandit ponders. I'm assuming this is not at cost to you.
Titan shakes his head. I've discovered some things about myself that make me confident this won't affect my ability to fight.
Fascinating. So, you're suggesting taking one of your arms and using that as the replacement for Aladate's. Yes.
He nods.
Suppose the hurdle you have to overcome is the distinct separation between your heritages, especially given yours of the draconic nature that you have. I suspect the rate would be, rejection rate would be higher than normal if it were coming from someone else in a similar position as yours.
Yeah, that's what I figured as well. Which is why I came wondering if you have any solutions. Rejection rates are difficult to deal with. And I'll admit to not knowing much about the healing magics. My desire was always dedicated towards physical healing and the study of magic for tools of destruction and the more arcane-based magics. The divine escapes me almost entirely.
Well, divine magic is interesting in that while its power might come from a being of a positive plane, it still, on a fundamental level, functions in a way that can be quantified by modern scientific means. Much in such an example as a very simple healing spell, such as a cure wounds, for instance. What it does is rapidly stimulates the damaged cells to grow and heal, thus rapidly closing wounds and preventing loss of life. However, and has been observed in many studies and research papers in time, is that those that receive this quantity of healing repeatedly over their lives tend to find that they eventually develop malformations of the cells rapidly healing, but sometimes not in the correct way. And this often doesn't necessarily manifest until later in their lives, which is the reason why it is suggested, if it can be helped, that basic modern medicine be applied first, and natural healing allowed to take its course versus forcing things and then having them go back to normal the following day, for instance.
Right. So, uniquely unqualified for this particular measure, as we're already dealing with dissimilar cells and the high potential of warping.
Yes. There are more powerful divine magics that can override that concern, given that they function over a greater period of time, and the quantity of magic required to do so can smooth out that curve. But as already mentioned, it requires an extremely powerful spellcaster to accomplish it, of which I am no longer. And not many, if any, I believe in the camp are capable of what you would require. That being said, while I can't speak to the healing part of this equation anymore, I do think there might be a case in which the separation, the difference in your structures, your cells, has been identified as a problem. I would recommend if we could find a way to make Aladade's form be more receptive to what it is you would be grafting onto him. Granted, it's not as if we can just make him part dragon, which would be impossible based off of things I'm aware of now, but perhaps if you were to speak to the chapter of fire, they might have a manner in which to have it recognize Aladade as something similar to yourself, and it might lessen the severity of the transfer.
Well, then, we have a very happy coincidence. I did speak with the Chapter of Fire, and much of the knowledge they gave me in exchange for what I gave them speaks to what you're speaking to. If I can get him exposed to certain elements and have him meditate alongside me, it could mitigate the difference between us.
That is magnificent news. So, I think if you follow those steps, and if his form is receptive to those, you might be able to lessen the severity of the rejection by a great deal.
Thank you. This insight has been extremely helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate your tutelage, Bandit.
No, nonsense. I'm merely just providing a different perspective. You had the answer already.
Well, like I said, it's nice to have somebody who I can at least bounce these ideas off of and can understand them.
And to that, I am always happy to listen to you, Titan.
Right, well, that should be a good start. A good starting place. Titan kind of nods. Alright. I'll probably let Aladade know in a couple of days. Oh boy, I'm losing my voice. This is what happens when you don't do Titan for 3 weeks.
Yeah, you gotta work those back out.
I'll talk to Aladade after a few days, let him get back adjusted, seeing people who have missed him. And then we can talk about it some more.
Quite good. If you need any second opinions, don't be afraid to come ask.
No, of course. And if you're amenable to it, I would certainly appreciate a hand while doing the surgery. As you can imagine, I'll be somewhat crippled by the event.
Yes, of course. I would love to lend a hand.
All right. Titan smiles. He enjoyed the pun. All right. I'll let you know when and if we do it. But thanks again. We'll talk again soon, I'm sure.
Very good. I look forward to it, Titan.
Titan will leave Bandit to his devices.
Okay. Titan wanders off to the remainder of his progressively later evening. Until such a time that, can I make a bold assumption, we can cut to the reuniting?
I think that makes sense. Probably that evening or something, depending on how long we were out and when we came back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys honestly weren't that long.
We at least had a short rest at one point.
Yeah. Rough approximations, because time is a little weird when you deal with chaos. I think it's probably about 2 p.m. So, with that being said, party, most of you, are back in Covert's Grey Room. Piriel, Strider, just took Rivet and Kit through a portal, and you've been left alone in the Grey Room with the table and the 4 chairs. It isn't before long that when you're sort of standing there, maybe in quiet conversation, maybe just sitting there counting your fingers, passing the time, who knows, Covert kind of snaps into existence in the room, where versus it was empty space is now filled by the high elven gentleman. Okay, sorry if I left you waiting for too long. Busy as always. Mission successful.
Mission successful.
Very good. I'm going to assume my cousin was whisked away by Strider.
Yep.
She's safe and sound.
Excellent. Well, officially, as previously mentioned, for getting my cousin out of a bind, self-imposed as it might have been, you are entitled to a favor fulfilled by one of the adjutants. If you decided to be so bold and wanted to ask Kalir something, I could certainly run that up the ladder for you. Just know that it is a possibility.
Good thing to have in our back pocket. Don't think we're going to be cashing it in right away. Unless we have to.
Well, in your own time. Favors won't be forgotten. No need to worry about it. Also, I felt like it was sort of cheap to just say, here's an IOU. Just count this as a small thanks for me personally. And he drops a bag of silver onto the table.
Oh, nice. How much is in it?
What I could scrimp together, it's 500 silver.
You could scrimp together 500 silver.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'll just divide that then.
As you should. Don't tell anybody.
Thanks for everything.
I won in a game of cards last night.
Funny you should mention cards.
Yeah, did any of you draw anything?
No.
Good.
Strider already made sure to ask us that.
Mm-hmm. I'm just double checking.
We did shop at the gift shop, though.
They always get you at the gift shop.
They did. Basically, everything you just gave me recoups my losses from the gift shop.
Wow.
I bought so many shirts.
You know there's a war going on right now, right?
I couldn't help it. Look, you have to see this one, all right? It's a big fluffy shirt, and it's got a hood attached to it, and there's a little pocket, and...
Yeah, I've seen them before. I know. They're very attractive and super comfortable when you're near a fire. I get it.
Just saying, it's just worth it.
As missions go for a couple of hours, I mean, we didn't even end up getting into a fight, and we made out with what I'm pretty sure are at least a couple magical items.
Yeah, definitely have somebody look them over before anybody decides to use them.
Yeah.
Just in case. You did get it from a Chaos Temple. Might not be exactly as it says on the label.
Would a identify spell be enough to see if anything weird going on, or should we have something stronger?
Well, unless it was cursed by, like, Abanus the Dark Dragon himself, should probably just suffice, yeah.
Great. Should we go? On Titan?
Before I let you guys free, just some quick side notes. One, Melody, your brother is awake. Just to let you know, he's doing fine. He's talked to some people. Probably go visit him sometime.
Does my mother know?
I'm sorry?
Does my mother know?
Yes.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Yeah. Like I said, a bunch of people have already gone to visit him. Most of your family included, several times. And Lilith, your visitor is here as well. You know, the one that no one's supposed to know about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
I was told they would find you.
Of course they will.
Mm-hmm. Just be ready for that.
Hey, so with only a couple hours, we might be able to go on that Dusty Daisy mission.
You're avoiding someone a little bit.
Was that directed at me?
No, I asked Lilith. You
Sorry,
avoiding someone?
No, I just would have happened to not be around when they were around. I'm a busy mercenary now.
I think she's avoiding someone, girls.
I know absolutely nothing.
Anyway, let's go say hi to Titan.
I can agree with that.
And go see your brother, too. I'm sure he's probably over in that direction anyway.
Okay, you all know the drill. Take a step forward, brace yourself. Don't trip on the way out, please.
100 silver each.
Including to Titan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's been hard at work, for sure.
And each of you take the step forward, stumble a slight amount, and you end up back outside in the center of the camp on a, muggy, humid, recently rained day. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
To the
You wanna see?
medical tents.
To the medical tents. Yeah, you can go to the medical tents. Busy as normal. Most of the tent flaps are drawn back to allow for air circulation because, again, it is gross. It's extremely muggy. So where are you going? You're at the medical tents.
Well, we'll poke our head inside. Titan's just out and about.
Yeah, I mean, Titan's probably checking in on cursed people and stuff.
Audie probably immediately separates from the group to go see her brother, to
Reasonable.
be honest.
Of course. Oh, you guys are back.
Yep, nice and quick.
No complications.
We turned into horses at one point.
They're not joking.
Oh, really?
No, we
And-
turned into horses. Kicked down a door.
Only
Titan
lasted
kind
a
of
few
walks
minutes.
over and looks you guys in the eyes. And
Corona tried to eat a rug as a horse.
even as a horse, you wouldn't be able to digest a rug. Come on, Corona.
I wasn't trying to eat it. I was trying to pull it. Don't exactly have hands as a horse.
She turned back into a person while the rug was in her mouth.
Well, I'm sad I missed this mission.
She'd be very proud of me. I didn't even call her a rug muncher about it.
We all knew you were thinking it, though.
I know, and I almost got hit because I almost said it out loud.
Well, your incredible restraint in the situation shows your signs of maturity.
I know.
We also
I'm
brought
so
back some
proud.
goodies.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, some things we've been advised we should have identified in case they might be cursed or something before we try to use.
Good advice. I can identify those if you give me some time.
Here's a house.
Titan will take the house. Let's maybe do this somewhere other than the medical tent.
I'm
Yeah.
still pretty sure that house is going to grow if you do the wrong thing. So yes, these people might all die.
So hoping that it does. It would make long missions way more comfortable.
A bunch of people look at Roz when she says all these people might die. Like several of the clerics just stop in their tracks and they're all now staring at you all.
I have got to
Yeah.
learn to keep my fucking mouth shut.
You sure do.
The
Titan
minute
just
we
puts
drop
out
the
his
house
hands.
on you.
Don't, please. Don't worry. This wasn't a threat. Nothing is happening. We are smart enough not to do anything dangerous here. We were just
It's
leaving.
not a threat. How would I drop a house on someone? It's ridiculous.
They disperse, mumbling amongst themselves about a crazy woman they should probably admit.
I mean,
Oh,
she
but
did pick a fight with Tatiana.
yeah.
Might have a little head
Titan
trauma.
will start walking away from the medical tent with the party.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay.
And all of you made it back okay. I don't see Audie.
She went to see her brother.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Good. And none of you ill effects from being a horse or anything else chaos.
A slight sadness at the feeling of loss of majesty.
They are very majestic animals.
I do have a slight craving for carrots.
Titan just curls his lips. Oh, I'm glad I never turned into a horse then.
Good news is, they serve a good carrot soup at the Daisy. Where are you all headed? Gonna go back to the Greenwood camp, sit down with some items, and figure them out.
Yeah, I mean, identify doesn't actually require Titan to make the house become a house.
No, not at all. Just to learn what it does.
So he would be comfortable doing it probably in his tent.
Yeah, perfectly fine. You guys can all head back to the Greenwood camp. Titan, you can spend a couple of minutes and identify all the various items you've acquired. And get a good feel for them. But while you guys are all heading over there, I am going to go to Audie, who's on her way to go speak to Aladade.
Yeah. What about it?
You're going to do it? Question mark?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it was
She would
like
be
weird. Like,
basically.
what about it? I'm like, going to do it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. She'd get into the tent and instantly, like, well, assuming Aladade's where she left him that morning.
He is technically in a different tent than he was originally. But it wouldn't take you long to quickly ask and find out where he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, very easy to find him. You get redirected to another tent to which you are mildly familiar with because you've visited Jace before. And when you walk in, you see Jace has set up across from Aladade, or vice versa. It's all the same, really. And they're both currently sitting with trays in their lap, eating a meal, a midday, if you will. Both of them are silently grimacing as they're taking spoonfuls and eating.
Doesn't Aladade at least have to? Oh no, that would have been breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the night before.
Yeah, she'll come sweeping in with a smile and a wave to Jace, and as delicately as she can, while still being enthusiastic, is going to kind of leap at her brother and wrap him in a big hug.
Mm-hmm. Ow. good to see you, Audie. And he'll wrap his one arm around you and give you a good squeeze.
Glad to see you, Rick.
Glad to see you're back and not turned into a toad or something.
Turned into horses for a little bit.
Oh, you
but
don't
we're
say.
fine now. Yeah.
Hmm. How was it? How was it being a horse?
Kind of strange.
Hmm.
You can't do anything with your hands because you don't have hands.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Got to have some good wine, a little bit of cheese, and got to play some games. We played rock, paper, scissors. We actually played it with rocks and paper and chairs.
What kind of
It's good.
mission? What kind of mission was this?
And she closes her mouth and her eyes go wide, realizing maybe she said a little too much.
Oh, we had to rescue someone from some cultists. It's all part of the course now. You know, it's what mercenaries do. I
Oh,
guess
yes,
I'm a
of course.
mercenary.
You go into a place filled with cultists and you eat their wine and their cheese and you become horses and you play games with them. Of course, this is perfectly normal.
Chaos magic.
Excuse me?
Chaos magic.
Is that how you're trying to excuse yourself, or
No, it's just what it was.
so that's why it's so weird and off the cuff and random?
And she's grinning and nodding enthusiastically.
He looks past you at Jace. Jace just shrugs. All right, I suppose I have to accept that then. You and everybody else made it back fine?
Yeah, we did. Covered
Oh.
us as best to make sure we don't go on missions that are too over our head.
And she kind of nods to Jace.
I don't think they were even expecting what was waiting for you on the other side. But you came back in one piece, so that was also good news.
Yes, Jace has told me all about his happenstance currently. Also said that Varin is likewise in a similar place to all of you, and is doing very well for himself as a mercenary. So, well, something.
He's still a bit of a grumpy sod, but he's just right about his kids.
Well, I think that's fair for all of us to be worried about our youngers, huh? He tousles your hair.
Yeah.
What?
They're smaller ones than me, but they keep themselves busy, and I'm sure they keep me busy and everyone else
Well,
distracted.
rest assured, I've already tousled their hair. You were just next in line. As you can see, my efficiency for that was cut in half, so I have to take it where I can get it.
Well, I'll make sure not to dodge it away anymore. It'll give you a fighting chance.
Thank you. This cripple appreciates it.
You didn't happen to see Da in the camp, did you?
His somewhat joking demeanor darkens. No, Adi, I didn't see Da. Last time I saw him was in the village. Before everything went boom.
Pulled out the big gun before we ran from the star.
Oh, I heard it. No idea.
Well, he didn't lose hope for you, so we won't lose hope for him.
Hmm.
You had to find a body or a ghost.
Well, maybe we'll have to take a hike back to Greenwood then.
That's quite a hike it is. There's a whole continent between us and there, but what? I don't disagree. You're still missing a few from Greenwood. Well, missing is a bit of a, I suppose not the right word. Rose said that Rowan was around, but then she didn't join it. We don't know where Rowan is, but I mean, we're sure she's fine too. I'm sure she got out.
I'm sure a fair few people got scattered on the way out. It's hard to pick a direction to run in if there's enemies in front of you. I'm sure there are others, Adi. We just have to find them.
Absolutely. Certainly.
Mhm.
And people have been pretty good though about, it's not the gnomes that are coming, it's whatever these monsters are that created these automatons causing all the problems. So life's been still pretty good being a gnome in here now.
Well, I didn't expect a bunch of people to pick fights with you anyway. You've been way too nice your entire life. I didn't think it was going to start changing now.
It's not. I
And then,
don't
of
think
course,
they're quite used to the niceness though. Some people act all suspicious like I'm up to something.
well, you always are up to something.
Yeah, but it's like nice things, usually. Or at least not mean things.
Oh, by the way, I've been meaning to ask, did Greenwood's favorite singer make it to the camp as well?
She put on a performance a couple nights ago. Here she's there occasionally. Still haven't found her though. I think it's all a myth she had make up.
Well, as long as she survived, that's all that matters. Maybe next time she has a show, I could be there for it.
Yeah, if the schedule's right. I probably won't make the next one, and unless they let you out of bed tonight. But yeah, probably in about a week or so. I'll make sure to come let you know if I hear rumblings.
Good, good. You should probably catch up to the rest. I think they've tottered off somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah. They came to find Titan. I should probably go do the same. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll still be here when you come back. I'm not running away anywhere.
You better be. If you do, the only place I expect you to be running off to is back to see Ma and the kids.
Pass my wishes off to the others when you see them.
I will, absolutely. And Audie starts walking out, and then almost as an afterthought, she comes running back in as if she had forgotten something and looks him dead serious in the eye. Oh, and by the way, Rose Cutlet is her girlfriend. Finally. And runs out again.
As Audie's running away, she catches the tail end of Ality going to Jace. Oh, man, and that betting board got destroyed in the village, didn't it? Anywho, eventually, Melody will catch up to them around the time Titan finishes identifying all the items. Which is to say, nothing is cursed.
Excellent.
You have a full understanding as to the capabilities of the items.
Lottie walks in and he's like, and this is just a pet rock. I don't know what to tell you.
It's not just a rock. It's smart enough to be offended that I'm so sorry that I brushed off all your dirt. I'll give you some nice dirt to roll in.
Titan just hands you a very small pouch and there's a little bit of diamond dust. Make it happy.
Ooh.
Oh,
will
it loves that.
Just drop it in.
Yeah, it rolls in it like a ferret giving itself a dust bath. It loves it. It becomes sparkly.
So, do you want to like head outside of camp a little bit and see what our house looks like?
I think the issue of using the house anywhere close to camp is the same issue with building houses. We don't want to create a stir among people with no homes. I understand your excitement, but I think we should be responsible with this.
We'll have to use it when we're next on a mission. Even if it's just to have a look inside.
Oh, absolutely. Our very next mission, first thing I'm going to do when we arrive there is put up a cottage.
Which, I mean, speaking of missions, I mean, we finished that one pretty quickly. We could check to see if the Dusty Daisy still needs help.
We absolutely could. Although I think, aren't you avoiding someone?
I'm not avoiding anyone. They're going to come to me at some point.
All right.
Is there something I should know? You all right, Lilith?
Yeah, I'm fine. My brother is going to be making an appearance at some point, but that is, I guess, not something that should be made known to most of the camp. Looks at
Titan
Roz.
just nods.
My lips are sealed. I have told no one.
Just keep her from drinking too much.
Yeah,
Here.
probably.
We just knew you were getting a visitor. I didn't know it's your family.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not here for me. He's probably got some business in the camp with some of the mercenaries and stuff. But he'll probably drop in since he knows I'm here.
With the way Cover put it, it sounded like he was coming for you, but I'm not gonna pry. It's your family matter. As long as you aren't avoiding him.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Corona. It's your matter unless you feel you want us involved. You don't talk about your family, so I don't know how complicated things are.
Well, I mean, I did technically run away, but not like they didn't know I was in Greenwood anyway. It's just been a while since I've seen my brother, is all.
Can I interject?
I'm
No,
guessing
have a
we all
Reels
jump.
around to see who said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, everyone turns around.
Standing behind everybody with the tent flap pulled aside, quiet as a mouse, is a elven gentleman, relatively angular features, darker hair. It's about shoulder length. Is currently been let down. Remarkably, their eyes, they have black sclera and bright ocean blue eyes, and very noticeably, a bit of a glittered streak of freckles across their nose and cheeks, which looks a bit familiar. I couldn't help but hear my name, and by my name I mean references to me repeatedly. I figured it would be a good time to interject. I thought you were told that my presence here was supposed to be kept secret, Lilith.
I was, but you can trust them.
Well, I'm assuming these are amongst the people that helped cared for you all these years.
Yes, and the ones that I've been going on missions with.
Very good.
But please come into the tent. No need to stand in the door.
Yes, of course. Pardon me. Theron steps inside. Theron is, like I said, on the taller side for an elf. He's about 6'2", pale-skinned. Like I said, starry freckles across the the nose and bridge, no bridge of his nose and cheeks. Currently wearing a set of mithril weave armor, very similar in style to what you saw the Strider unit soldiers wearing. Bit different style and shape, but similar in terms of the intricate elven weaving that is known in their more complex armors. When he steps in and straightens himself up, he immediately takes a deep bow in front of all of you. I'll be taking an opportunity to do this to others, but I wanted to first thank you all for caring for my sister while she's been away from our family. You've cared for her and taken her in, and we appreciate that. We just wanted to express that to all of you.
Titan nods. Well, we consider her found family, but we understand.
Well, everyone, this is my brother Theron. Theron, this is Corona, Melody, Roswin, and Titan.
Hi, nice to meet you.
It is nice to meet you all. Thank you for your efforts, and I'm pleased to see that Lilith is looking well, and he looks to you, Lilith, and I am sorry for not having a chance to have visited sooner. I know our sister has come to check up on you from time to time.
Well, if you can teleport, you would have to make the trip a lot longer.
Yes, but even one visit in as many years makes me look like a negligent sibling. But
I know you had your duties to attend to.
well, someone's got to bear all the expectations from other places on us. I realize that might have sounded like a slight. That was not meant to be the case. Just, you know how Mother is.
So if you haven't seen each other for a while, does that mean you're going to spend a little more time around to catch up, old times or something?
I was planning on staying for the day, getting a update on the situation here at this camp, which involves speaking to Covert, who I've already spoken to at length since my arrival sometime yesterday. I was going to speak to the heads of the various mercenary groups here, and then the remainder of the day I was going to, if allowed, and if amenable, spend it with Lilith, and if all of you would like to do the same. Just to get to know the people who have become Lilith's new family.
Yeah, I'm amenable.
Of course. I can actually introduce you to the Immortal Bastion when you like.
Well, that would be most helpful. But first, if I might suggest, if we can start with a meal. I have not had an opportunity to eat since I've woken up from my trance earlier.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
I will pay, of course, if you would all like to join us.
Yeah, the best place to eat is the Dusty Daisy. It probably shouldn't be too busy this time of day.
Not yet, anyway. Probably a bit later on.
All right. Well, let us go fetch some food, and you can tell me all about the embarrassing things you've seen Lilith do in the last couple of years.
Roz makes side eyes at Lilith so fast.
She squints at you.
Audie is grinning.
Wish I could say. What can I say?
The squid is turning into a glare.
Say nothing.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, as you all gather together with Theron, and you head to the Dusty Daisy for a meal, we're gonna end there. You guys are really easy to sneak up on, by the way. With your low passive perceptions. Anybody who's proficient in stealth can just walk up on you guys without ever noticing.
Shut up, we know.
Yeah, just wait until one of the times it's actually an enemy that does it.
Right, well, ideally, they'd shoot the loudest person in the group. As I can take it.
Yeah, don't worry. You guys aren't notable enough to have assassins sent after you just yet, so it's okay.
Didn't think so.
But give me some time. Give you guys some time. You all will get there. Shrug. But yeah, that's that. So I hope everybody had fun. I sure did. So you guys have a house. Neat.
We have a house.
You know,
A
I've
portable
always
house.
I've always
Yes.
been really into, like, you know, party bases, and if this was just like a single room cottage where it's just like a log cabin where you walk in and there's like a kitchen area and a couch and then a table and that's it, like, neat. But this actually has like a whole upstairs with individual rooms, which is really great. So I'm really looking forward to see what you guys do with it. Just even if it's just a matter of personalizing it, I think it's gonna be cool.
I also love the idea of a portable party base we can customize a bit.
And of course, you guys have an inventor in the group, so if there's, like, you know, cosmetic alterations you want to do, I'm sure Titan can figure it out.
I did notice you gave the place 4 bedrooms instead of 5. It seemed pointed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Initially was all like, oh, Titan will just sleep on a chair in front of the fireplace like an old man because he's an old man. And then I was like, oh wait, I know why there's only 4 bedrooms.
No, Kurt did this on purpose. Or as on purpose as chaos can be.
I didn't do anything. Thank you very much.
Like, he was able to immediately see Callista. I'm pretty sure he was also immediately able to tell that these kids gay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that how it works? If you can see ghosts, you can see gay?
Yep. That's where the gaydar comes from.
Ah, yes, of course, because ghost and gay are one and the same. All right. Well, that's yep, that's the lesson you're taking away from this week, apparently. Yeah. Something ghost, gaydar, good choices. There you go. See you later.
Thanks for
Make
hanging out,
good
chat.
choices, chat.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
I don't
we're just
have
gonna go.
anything planned.